Turn up the lights. Mitch, Harper, Kyle Ireland, Cougar Sports Saturday, KSL News Radio. It's a BYU game day. It's a Big 12 game day, and it's a different league in the Big 12. We do it different in the Big 12. Got some great football going on right now. Game of note with Cougar fans' probably attention tuned into this one. Arizona at number 25, Cincinnati. The Bearcats just scored a touchdown. It's 27-24 in favor of Arizona. Where do you stand on this, Kyle? Do you want to see Cincinnati take an L, or Cincinnati escapes and gets a win and potentially, assuming BYU wins today and creates a top 25 matchup next week in Cincinnati? Where do you stand on this? Do you want Cincinnati to take another L to give them a second Big 12 loss?
I think, for the sake of entertainment, I'm going to say I want Cincinnati to win this game to set up a bigger matchup next week.
Yeah.
For ease of victory, maybe the Bearcats are down and out if they lose this game and BYU just rolls next week. But I think that, BYU, the way that the committee has viewed them previously, how they might be viewing them this season, BYU needs as many quality victories as they can get. TCU would be a good win tonight. Cincinnati win over a 2-loss Cincinnati team as opposed to a 3-loss Cincinnati team would look a lot better, especially if that's a ranked game next week.
I think that's a good point that would make you say, hey, hopefully Cincinnati can get this win, because BYU is trying to still get back into the bracket. Because technically, if the season ended today, they're out. And if to get another data point that maybe impresses that committee that doesn't seem to ever be impressed with BYU and that stretch Y, no matter what BYU's circumstances are, maybe that's the play here. That it's just funny. Cincinnati to win.
It would be so disheartening for Cougar fans to see them if they were 12th in the final rankings and like North Texas gets in over them. It'd just be like, oh, again.
And fans are hearing that and going, how on earth does that happen? We don't need to get too deep in the weeds, but you could see maybe the ACC champ doesn't get in. Creates a path for a second group of 5 team. Look, I'm okay with the group of 5 teams being in the playoff. I think that's what's good for the sport, because I want games like James Madison versus someone in the Sun Belt to mean something. I want, Memphis USF to mean something. But, yeah, that would be a bitter pill to swallow. Other scores in the Big 12. This one is strange. Kansas State at Oklahoma State. I would have thought this would have been a blowout. K-State's only up 14-6, 10:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Down in the valley, in the desert, West Virginia at Arizona State. Yeah, tell someone 5 years ago this would be a conference game. Arizona State's up 22-10, 12:52 to go in the third quarter. Other games around the Big 12 Conference today. Number 6, Texas Tech hosts UCF at 1:30 p.m. on Fox. Utah, number 13 Utes, take on the Baylor Bears. Hey, this is a matchup that just basically swapped out college football playoff committee members. Hey, Mack Rhodes, Baylor, Mark Harlan, Utah. Cougar fans are already drawing up the tinfoil conspiracies. Harlan's going to keep BYU out of the playoff. That's not necessarily how it goes, folks. But 5 p.m. tonight on ESPN2. And then, of course, the Cougs take on TCU 8:15 on ESPN. Any other Big 12 storylines? Well, actually, you know what? Hold that thought. We got to get to a break. We're up against it. We got to get to a break. And then hour number 2, we will get to your conversation, Kyle, with John Talmoy-Payau, defensive tackle for the Cougars, in the heart of that defensive line as BYU gets set to take on the TCU Horned Frogs in a bounce-back spot. First home game in Provo in 4 weeks. Let's get ready for it here on Cougar Sports Saturday on KSL News Radio, and it's powered by KSL Sports.